Hello everyone, welcome back to part 2 of our holiday in Northern Ireland, and this time we're looking at some of the Irish Sea coastline. I must first correct myself, at the end of part 1 I referred to this as the Causeway Coast, but on further research all of this is in fact the Antrim Coast, which is further south. The Causeway Coast covers everything from Ballycastle around to Portrush on the northernmost tip of Northern Ireland. So on day 2 we drove out to Larne, some 20 miles away from our base in Ballymena. We didn't stay in Larne very long, instead opting to take the coast road, the A2, the Antrim Coast Road north towards Carnlough, taking some of the places along the Irish Sea. The Antrim Coast Road is regarded as one of the greatest tourist routes of the world. This part of the road has seen a dramatic increase in traffic in recent years, in particular during warmer weather. It runs along the coast for about 25 miles from the Black Arch near Larne to the Red Arch near Cushendall. First up was Drains Bay, a small residential and commuter settlement about 2 miles north of Larne and to the south of Ballygalley. The village is mainly residential, with many retired people living here. Some residents commute to Larne by car and to Belfast by car or by train from Larne. The beach is very clean and the water in the Irish Sea is crystal clear, and we took the opportunity to dip our feet into the water. The beach is one of Northern Ireland's hidden gems. We thought it was likely that only the locals come here, because it's not a place that screams at you that it's a tourist attraction. This next bunch of shots is just to the north of Ballygalley, the next major place along the coast. Unlike Drains Bay, Ballygalley has a much larger, much more touristy beach, and it's a designated holiday resort. Ballygalley Beach is a popular destination for locals and tourists alike, especially during the summer months. Although not seen in the video, Ballygalley Castle is reputed to be the oldest occupied building in Ireland, and it has a reputation for being haunted. It sits in the middle of the village at the junction with the road to Cairn Castle and contains a 4-star hotel with a renovated bar and restaurant. The castle was built around 1625 for James Shaw of Greenock and is one of Ireland's best preserved Scottish baronial style plantation houses. All of this area is part of the Antrim Coast and Glens, an area of County Antrim designated as an area of outstanding natural beauty in 1988. The Antrim Coast and Glens area of outstanding natural beauty extends to include Rathlin Island, the Glens of Antrim, and the coastal area between Larne and Ballycastle, and it's dominated by the Antrim Plateau, which is 500 metres or 1600 feet at its highest point. The area has a rich culture with close links to Scotland, and the Mull of Kintyre is only 12 miles away from Torr Head in the far north of the area. Here we're at Madman's Window, a particular formation of rock on the edge of the road with a gap that looks like a window. It is said a heartbroken man visited the gap every day to stare blankly out to sea, hence the name. Now we're in Glenarm. Glenarm takes its name from the glen in which it lies, the southernmost of the 9 glens of Antrim. Dating back to Norman times, the village is the family seat of the MacDonalds, who once occupied Dunluce Castle on the north coast. The village is now a conservation area, and its main street, Altmore Street, leads directly to Glenarm Forest, from which can be seen Glenarm Castle on the far bank of the little river which runs through the village to the sea. The castle dates from 1750 with early 19th century alterations. Glenarm claims to be the oldest town in Ulster, having been granted a charter in the 12th century. Now to the church, which is where we come across Glenarm Friary. A 1580 map of the county Antrim coastline shows the friary at Glenarm on the other side of the river from the castle. It was probably closed by the beginning of the 17th century, but its site continued to be the favoured burial place of the local population, including settlers from Scotland. Little of the friary survives today, and what remains is not easy to interpret. It was aligned along the traditional east-west axis, so what was once thought to have been the chancel is now believed to have been a transept. Glenarm Village was used in the film The Boys from County Clare from 2003, which also used other locations in the Glens of Antrim. Glenarm Castle itself was used in 5 Minutes of Heaven. The Christmas film A Christmas Star had scenes filmed near the marina of Glenarm Village too. Speaking of marinas, the last place we made a stop was in Carnlough. Carnlough Harbour was built by the owners of the quarries west of the village. These were connected to the harbour by a means of a mineral tramway network, which included a bridge over each of the 2 parallel streets in the village, and both bridges still remain today. Now would be a good time to mention how local government is organised in Northern Ireland. It is organised into baronies, and most of these places we've seen today lie in the barony of Glenarm Lower. Baronies are then subdivided into civil parishes, most of which are much larger than the average English civil parish in terms of area. Glenarm Lower has 5. The parishes are then subdivided again into townlands, and population-wise these can be extremely small, some no larger than just 2 or 3 houses in a vast area of open farmland. Carnlough is designated as a village though, one of 4 within Glenarm Lower. The harbour with this amazing view was the location for the last shot of the day, complete with fish and chips from the local chippy, and this was the perfect end to a really nice day on the beautiful Antrim coast. Now I thought I'd share with you the accommodation we had for the week and the hire car which we drove around in all week too. This farmhouse, called Shaw's Hill Farmhouse, located 7 miles away from Ballymena, was at the end of a long uphill lane. It's completely isolated, gated off not once but twice along the lane. There are no neighbours, and the only other buildings are either in disrepair or otherwise unoccupied. There are amazing views all around of the Northern Irish countryside. To the rear of the cottage you have the Sperrin Mountains, another one of Northern Ireland's scenic areas. The house itself is a traditional farmhouse with huge thick walls. Inside it's more than just a little bit spacious. All the rooms are super large. Downstairs there's a living room and a kitchen. Whilst upstairs there's an immensely big bathroom and 3 bedrooms. No matter where we looked out of the windows, we were guaranteed a fabulous view. That's it for part 2. Join me for the final part where we travel across the Sperrin Mountains to Derry before taking in Lough Neagh to round off the trip.